If you want more amazing things to happen in your life, then you should start a gratitude practice. Today I'm going to explain why a gratitude practice is so effective for helping you build the life of your dreams. People who have a regular gratitude practice have been shown to get a number of awesome benefits. Gratitude practices have been proven to help people experience more positive emotions, feel more alive, sleep better, express more compassion and kindness, and even have stronger immune systems. Basically, every major religion and spiritual practice includes some form of gratitude, and for good reason. It has so many benefits. Why does it work so well? Well, it all has to do with the way that your brain filters information. Your brain has to filter information. There are so many stimulus coming into your brain every day that it has to filter some of that out. If it didn't filter some of that information out, it would be kind of like on Superman movies where Superman is just starting to get his powers and there's so much stuff coming in and you could almost go crazy with hearing all of the heartbeats and noises across town and all of that information. It's too much for your brain. Even for normal humans, there's way too many stimuli coming in every day. Your brain can't possibly pay attention to all of the things going on around you at once. So basically what your brain does is it dims the lights on any information that doesn't seem significant to you in that moment. This is the same thing that your brain does when you're asleep. How easily you get woken up totally depends on how much your brain turns down or inhibits signaling when you are asleep. So if your brain doesn't dim the lights very much on all the external things, then you get woken up very easily. If your brain has a really strong filter when you're asleep, then hardly anything will wake you up. Understanding that your brain filters information in this way is super interesting. This is why when you're at a big party, there can be a group of people talking next to you, and you'll have no idea what they are saying in their conversation. But if somebody else says your name across the room, you will hear them. That's because your brain has filtered your name. It is designated as important. So it's always going to make it through the filter. But the conversation next to you isn't considered important. And so your brain is totally going to filter that out. This is why when people use the term tuning out, they are actually factually correct. Your brain is literally tuning things out, stimulus out. It's turning down the volume, dimming the lights, and not paying attention to those things because they are not important in that moment. But before you get mad at your friend for tuning you out because you think that means that you're not important to your friend, I want you to know something else that's really important. Most of your brain's filters are set unconsciously. That means that you could still be really important to your friend and they're just tuning you out because they're on unconscious filters that were set by their lower brain. So it's not that you aren't important to your friend, it's more that in that moment you aren't a threat to or necessary for their survival, and their primitive brain has tuned you out. Without supervision, that's just what a brain does. That's why your brain's strongest unconscious filter is to look at what's wrong with the world. That's because anything that's going wrong could potentially harm you. It could mean death. And so your brain is trying to keep you alive. So it's constantly looking for things that are going wrong that might potentially harm you. This is a terrible filter. In modern society, we're very rarely under threat of death. So to have this unconscious filter running the show creates so much unnecessary pain and misery. So the best news is you can decide your filters. You can consciously train your brain on what to look for in the world. And that brings us back to gratitude. Gratitude is amazing from shifting our automatic and subconscious filter of looking for what's wrong in the world to a filter of looking for what's going well, what is right, what is amazing about the world. And that feels so much better. So that is why I recommend that you start a gratitude practice today. Here are some tips for starting an effective gratitude practice. And the first one is to do it daily, or even twice a day, or 3 times a day. The more often you think of things that you are grateful for and participate in a gratitude practice, then the quicker you will shift your filter from what's wrong with the world to the amazing things about the world. The second tip I have for you is to constantly change up the things that you are focused on when you are doing your gratitude practice. Sometimes we really want to hone in on one specific area that we want to be more grateful for, and that's okay. But I really recommend thinking of different things every day that you are thankful for. If we're constantly being thankful for the same thing over and over again, we start to lose the feeling behind it, and it becomes rote and repetitive. That's why when you're saying, I'm thankful for the food in your prayers, you're not actually thinking about the food. You're not actually feeling grateful for the food. It's just repetitive, right? So change up what you are thankful for. Think of different things, because that will help you really generate that gratitude inside of you, that feeling, that bubbly, lovely feeling of gratitude. If you need help coming up with different things to be thankful for, sometimes just thinking of everything is too general. I like to think of themes. For example, I might think of things that I'm thankful for when it comes to my job, or my family, or my house, or my body, or any other number of things. Think of different themes and think of the things that you are thankful for in that area. That can help you branch out, right? If you've been thinking about things in your room that you're thankful for, it'll really help you branch out to different things than you normally think about when you're doing a gratitude practice. I also really like to think about things that I'm struggling with. Like if I'm unhappy with the weather, then I will think of things I'm grateful about the weather right now. Or if I'm struggling with a person, then I'll think about the things about that person that I am thankful for. The last tip I have for you today is to change up the way that you're doing your gratitude practice. Just like when we think about the same things we're grateful for all the time and it just becomes repetitive, doing the gratitude practice in the same way can also become repetitive. It stops resonating with you. So when that happens, change it up. So if you're usually practicing gratitude through prayer, change it up. Try something new. Try a gratitude meditation where you visualize about the thing that you are grateful for. Or you can do a gratitude journal. Lots of people do this, where you write down a few things every morning and every night before you go to bed that you are thankful for. Another idea I really like is a gratitude jar. That's where you write things on little slips of paper that you're grateful for and put them in the jar. Changing it up is going to help you really get the most out of your gratitude practice. And there are lots of great ways to do that. There are also gratitude apps. You can post on social media what you're grateful for. Definitely consider sending gratitude to people through texts or letters. Those are always awesome. The important thing is that you start a gratitude practice. I hope you will start it today. Shift your filter to all the amazing things in the world. They've always been there. Your brain just has filtered them out. So let's focus on gratitude and see all the amazing things that the world has to offer. Set aside the time for a gratitude practice and start experiencing more positive emotions. Feel more alive, sleep better, be healthier, have more compassion and kindness. It is 100% worth it. You've totally got this.